Yeah, Steve and his team worked really hard for us. They were able to sell our condo in a short amount of time and get us into a new place right away. It was great how quick they were able to get us in to see homes and take us around and show us different properties that we were interested in. And Steve and Annette really worked hard with us to figure out what we wanted and really understood what we wanted and were able to put us into a home that worked for us.
We've had different experiences with different realtors locally, and Steve is an exception to the rule. Honest to God.
Yeah, Steve and his team worked certainly very hard to get our condo sold. The other realtor we were using hadn't got very far with it, and Steve got the job done.
And he didn't waste time. He worked very hard, I am sure, because before we had so few people coming to look at the home. Like it took almost a year to sell the place. And anyways, when he started, in the letter it said that he practically guaranteed that he would be able to sell our home, and he did.
No, I think Steve got more properties sold in 2011 because he worked harder than the other realtors out there. Certainly when he was selling our property, he was doing an open house every weekend. If it wasn't Steve personally, another member of his team. And if you work hard at things, you're going to get results.
They actually cared about selling our house for us, and they weren't giving us any impression like they would be commission driven or anything else. They were looking to help us. Steve was actually looking to help us first and foremost, and that was a breath of fresh air, and I think people noticed that.
Well, they were always available for us. Whenever we phoned, it was never an answering machine. It was always, "Hey Dan, what's going on? How can I help you?" And just really convenient working with us and our schedule, because we weren't at times the easiest people to work with, and they really bent over backwards trying to help us.
He had so many people coming to look at the place, and I don't know where he found all the people, and then it was about 2 months. Only took him about 2 months, and he had the place sold.
It was a really flooded market for our home at the time, and I think there was close to 1,000 condos on the market at the time, and we had hired another real estate agent, and for 7 months it didn't sell, and Steve sold it in 2 days. So after we'd hired him, so I mean that speaks for itself.
Steve marketed our property very nicely. We had a beautiful glossy coloured brochure, far more than I thought was necessary for our unit, but it was faultless.
When he took the pictures, our first impression was, wow, that's a nice house.
That's a nice house. Let's buy it. Oh no, we're selling
So
it.
that's kind of like we never had that before.
No.
This being our first sale in a basically foreign country for us, it was awesome, and it was fast.
I'd certainly recommend the Bergs to family and friends if they wanted another property sold. Certainly he works very hard and gets the job done.
I would recommend the Bergs without any hesitation.
Yes.
Of course, we'd recommend the Bergs.
We have.
We have actually already recommended them to a friend. And why? Because they work hard and they put you first. And we always felt that we were an important client, knowing that they had many, many other clients as well. But we always felt valued in that.
I would totally recommend the Bergs as being a realtor because they care, and they are not pushy, and they're there to do their job for you rather than something else. And it's a pleasure to work with them, and they're funny too, which to me is important.